Our country today is Antigua and Barbuda. It has 82,000 people. It's a small country, but it's beautiful and it has an interesting history. First, I want to learn why it has two names. And the answer simply comes from just looking at a map. We can see it's made up of two islands, the islands of Barbuda and Antigua. And as we zoom out, we see that this is part of the Lesser Antilles. The Lesser Antilles is this group of island chains coming out of Venezuela. And an interesting prehistoric theory, or perhaps fact, is that how did the islands here get populated? From where did they come from? Was it from Florida, Central America? Was it from Venezuela? I believe the mainstream idea is that they came from the Venezuela area here and kind of island hopped across the Lesser Antilles through here. And that's how these islands got populated. But there was certainly a larger trade network that existed between this whole Caribbean. Must have had very well developed trade. All these places were inhabited and they all were in contact with each other. And just another sidebar, there's been some studies that the people that ended up populating these islands were, at least in part, originally from the Amazons. So, maybe that's a video for another day, and we probably just need more studies and more information to really get the true answers on that. But that's at least what part of the data is showing. So here's the Lesser Antilles, and then the Greater Antilles is like Cuba, Dominican Republic, and Puerto Rico. So there's a lot more to learn about the ancient history, but the more modern history, in 1493 is when Christopher Columbus surveyed the island of Antigua, and this resulted in an attempt of the Spanish to settle it in 1520. And the first colony here was set up in 1632, and it was a British colony. Over time, in the 1800s, Barbuda and Antigua slowly integrated, and by 1981, they were independent. Racially, the country is quite mixed, with most of the people being of African descent, with also large populations from Europeans, Hispanics, and natives. A couple fun facts: Antigua has 365 beaches, making it the most beach-dense nation in the Caribbean. Another fun fact, in 2009, the Boggy Peak mountain was renamed to Mount Obama, and this is the highest point on the island. However, they renamed the peak in 2016 back to Boggy Peak. So this is probably the smallest country we'll be able to find a population pyramid on, considering it's only 94,000. It's basically it's going to be declining soon. So like most countries, there are more women once you start to get above 50, and below 50, it becomes more normal where it's more even, and there's a slight imbalance towards men. I'm quite a fan of the flag. The yellow piece here is clearly the sun. The blue is the Caribbean Sea. Black represents the ancestry of the people. And red is the life and energy of the people. Just looking at the beaches here, I mean, some of these really are quite nice. The clear sky, crystal blue water, white beaches. It's kind of the perfect type of beach. And if you want to visit, here's a heat map of when it's hot or warm. And it looks like this place is hot all year round. Although it does look like it's quite humid. So I'm going to guess the best times to visit are going to be probably in March. Yeah, so this is a perfect time to visit in the winter. So we can see the beach score down here. January, February, March. Perfect times in December. So when it's winter in the United States, this is a great place to go to the beach. So Antigua seems to be the more developed island, a little bit larger, while Bermuda, it's still present, but it's just not it's not the main island. But let's look at some of our Airbnbs. So just from a quick glance, if you want to stay a month, you're probably going to have to spend at least $1,000. And some of the nicer ones would be $1,500 or more. Let's just choose an island. Let's just choose an Airbnb here. It's very inviting. It shows the kind of culture that this Airbnb exists in. Very tropical. So I wanted some on the waterfront. I want to see that ocean when I wake up. Money is no issue. Let's see what we can get. Nice big space, nice and clean. Oh, this is more of a studio. Still, it's very presentable. And so this is what they consider the waterfront. Now this is nice. Now this is going to be 7,000 a month, but check out the view you get here. Imagine waking up to that.